Good afternoon now, it's after 12. It's a Friday the 16th of December 2022 and you guys joined me in Bangkok. So in Bangkok in Thailand, so just a quick sort of update of yesterday. So I obviously had an overnight flight from Kuwait to Bangkok. Obviously went Dubai to Kuwait, Kuwait to Bangkok. Through Kuwait Airlines. Not the best, it was tolerable. Seats weren't comfortable at all, but I just basically tried to sleep as much as possible. Landed yesterday morning and then basically got a bus to the centre of Bangkok and then just died of exhaustion. So I was in bed for about 3 or 4 hours yesterday afternoon. So tired, obviously didn't manage to sleep that well or that long on the flight. Slept, and then after that I just went for some dinner on Koh San Road. So Koh San Road is like the main sort of backpacking street here in Bangkok. So you've got the main street and all like the backpacker hostels and hotels, cheap hotels are all in that area. It's really lively sort of party area. I'll put some clips in now. It's Bangkok before, so I've done most of the touristy bits here, so I've not got much to do today. Obviously I've only got my basic today here and then tomorrow I fly to Laos. So yeah, I'll get a couple of bits done. Hopefully going to a skyscraper today, an abandoned skyscraper. Maybe go to a park, maybe a rooftop bar as well. So that is the plan for today. I just thought I'd give you a quick tour around my my room as well. So I'm staying in a private room in a hostel. And this is what £13 a night gets you in a private room in Bangkok. You come in, turn left. This is the master bathroom. There's me. Got a toilet. Then you got shower. Fantastic. And then if you come over here into the bedroom, there's my suitcase, and then this is it. And that up there is a lifesaver. That is the air conditioning. So yeah, that's what £13 a night gets you in the middle of Bangkok in a private room in hostel. Thought you guys might be interested. Actually pretty decent to be fair. For £13 I'm not complaining. So I fly to Laos in the morning and then I'll be back into normal hostels. I'm gonna get some breakfast even though it's lunchtime, and then we're gonna head out, I'm gonna do some sightseeing. 24 hours in Bangkok, let's go. Okay, so you join me down the river, by the river. It's a 5 or 6 minute walk from my hostel. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a, basically the problem with Koh San Road is that there's no public transport nearby apart from buses, and I'll get buses if I need to, but it's just a bit more convoluted. But I also just wanted to have a go on the river, have a ride down the river. Never actually been down the river in Bangkok, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a boat from here all the way to a tube stop which is near that skyscraper I was talking about. So I'm just going to wait about sort of 10 minutes, and then what I'll do is I'll get on this boat. I'll take me down there. So I'm like maybe 2 minutes away from the ghost tower, which is obviously the abandoned skyscraper. But I just want to turn you around and show you that building there. There you go. That building up there. Right, so that is the Sky Bar obviously. So the Sky Bar is from the movie The Hangover. Really impressive views actually. I went last time in Bangkok, so I've actually been up there already. I'm not going to go up this trip. If I can find some footage, I'll put it in and show you from last time. But I don't think I've got any footage, but if I find some, I'll obviously put it on. It's a really cool bar. It's obviously from the Hangover film, so obviously it's quite a famous bar. The views are spectacular, the drink prices are also spectacular, but I've done it once, I'm not going to do it again. I think this is the thing with going to places more than once, like you've got to approach it from a different angle, and I've noticed I've been to places 2 or 3 times, and unless I approach it from a different angle, it's not the same. The feels aren't the same, and even the sort of going the second time, the feels aren't the same because you've not been exposed to that place. When you get exposed to them for the first time, it does, you know, it's different to being exposed to it to the second time, and that's basically it. Is I'm not going to go up. I've been up once. I've seen the view. Obviously, you know, it'd be nice to go up again, but I'm going to go to a different rooftop bar tonight because it's just about, like I said, getting a different set of feels. And if I do the same thing twice, you're not going to get the same result. It's going to be, oh, it was better the first time, and I don't want that. But again, if you've never been to Bangkok, it's definitely worth a visit. So I also just want to talk about, so obviously the last time I was here was in 2019. That was, I think I did like a highlights video. I did actually vlog day to day. So this trip is going to be a bit different. Obviously I'm vlogging day to day. But I just want to, like, when I came in 2019, like, it was a massive eye-opener for me as a person. I think after that trip, like, that was my first trip in sort of Asia. It was my first trip where I was in a country on my own, and it was outside of Europe, and like, it wasn't like a, you know, a 2-hour flight back if anything went wrong. It was it was a hard trip, and it was a good trip, but there was also massive learning curves came from it. And I think I went to Koh San Road last night and I put something on my Instagram, and you know, I said over the last sort of 3.5 years I've changed so much as an individual, and it's mad going back to the same place 3.5 years later, and like externally I look very similar, like putting similar sort of build, similar sort of look. A beer in my hand in the photo in 2019, but obviously it was a fancy this time. But I think what's mad is how I've changed internally, in terms of like my confidence, who I am as a person, very much more focused in terms of what I want to achieve in life. And I think that just comes with maturity and growing up, and I'm kind of glad that I've come back 3.5 years later, because it's actually shown to me that I have changed. I'm not the same person I was in 2019, and that's a good thing. You want to be evolving and growing and as a person, and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations so that you can grow. And it's, I think I had noticed it, like I've had conversations with people that notice a change in me, but it's probably here now where parts of that trip in Thailand in 2019 were very difficult for various reasons, which I'm not going to go into on a YouTube video, but it was a massive eye-opener. And now I look back on the trip and I'm glad I went through those difficult times, because it got me to this point. So I think that's what I want to say, is that sort of to summarise as the point, you've got to get uncomfortable to grow, and when you see the growth you realise how much you've developed as a person. It's so good seeing that, and it shows that I'm not wasting my time on this planet. We only have probably on average 83 years. I'm grateful that I've took the time, the energy, and put myself in those environments to evolve and change, and it shows I'm not wasting my time on this planet, because it's a wonderful place, and it's you know, it's an amazing place, and I don't want to waste any sort of time here, because there's lots to do, there's lots to see, there's people to meet, there's countries to explore, there's things to build. You know, you don't want to waste your time. So I'm grateful. I am very grateful. I'm grateful to be in Bangkok. I'm grateful to have the ability to travel, and I'm very grateful for the time and work that I've put into change. One final thing as well is I forgot how much of a cultural experience and sort of mind-blowing experience it was in 2019. Like I said, obviously back in 2019, coming to Asia for the first time, like I saw, like, you know, Thailand is probably one of the biggest countries in Asia, but it's probably very much behind the countries in the Western world, UK, France, USA, etc. But it was a massive culture shock coming the first time. And even now, like, obviously I've not been to Asia in a while, obviously since 2020 when I did this sort of Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. But again, it is, you know, it is a culture shock coming here, and I definitely recommend everyone coming here, because you do have a massive amount of gratitude for Thailand and for what we have back home. So yeah, it's not been as much a culture shift this trip, but it's definitely something that still hits me in this trip, but maybe not so much. But yeah, I'm grateful. Right, let's go do some more traveling. Sorry for the ramble, sorry for getting all deep, but I think that, you know, I could film stuff and just like, look at this, but hey, I want to show you how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and you know, it's not simply about showing you a place. There's lots of other things to it. Let's get on with it. Right, so took a boat up the river, and I think what's interesting about that is that you have this side where I am now, which is where the skyscrapers are, and the prosperity and the wealth. And where I'm staying there's no skyscrapers. It's humble little tiny houses and things like that. So I think again it shows, like I was in Frankfurt in the summer, it's that wealth gap, that divide. It's so abundantly clear. So just behind me in the backdrop, that is the abandoned skyscraper. So just to give you a bit of context, obviously I said earlier it was abandoned during the financial crash of 1990s. 49 floor tower. The name of the building is the Saffron Unique, aka Bangkok's ghost tower. And I was reading into it, and basically the reason it's been abandoned is the architects behind it didn't want to sell, because if he sold it he would have had to declare bankruptcy. So it's just sat there. It's just sat there. It fills the skyline of Bangkok, and I think although it's obviously it's not a great building to look at versus say the Sky Bar or the buildings on the river, I think it's really important that it kind of stays like that. I think that I don't know, part of me is like, it is part of the skyline now, and I don't know, part of me as a sort of into property is, part of me thinks, oh, let's develop that, and you know, you could make some really cool houses. But then part of me is like, it's part of the culture of this city. It's a key part of something that happened in the 1990s. So how do you go and preserve that, which, you know, is very difficult. So I don't know, I'm caught in two minds. Part of me is like, develop it, make it amazing, make it better than the Sky Bar or any of the skyscrapers on there. But then part of me is like, well, why don't you leave it and it shows history. But the problem with that is that it attracts the wrong sort of people. I know there's been I think routers and things like that, and not routers, but it's, you know, there's certain types of demographic who have entered the town they shouldn't have done. I'd like to go into it and explore it. I know that people have done that, but unfortunately I believe that security is very tight now. I think if I was back in 2019, I probably would have been able to explore it. As much as I know people who've gone up it online, it's not a risk I'm probably willing to take. Obviously I'll see when I get there, see if I can go inside it, but if I can't, I can only apologise. We're at the base of it, so there it is. So again, it's that mad, is that difference between prosperity, or in that case not prosperity, and sort of everything behind me which isn't, and then obviously more skyscrapers behind me. It's, yeah, it's difficult to put into words, but again, it's just, I'm surprised it's been abandoned for so long, but obviously I understand the reasons behind it. It's a bit haunting, to be honest. I'll be honest, you know, the daredevil explorer me would love to go and have a look at that. And I know, like I said, I know people have done it, but I think security is very tight, and I don't particularly want to end up in a Thai prison. You just have to be a passerby and walk by. It's quite interesting, and yeah, it's one of those. It's quite interesting, and I think you probably can get in, but it's not worth the risk. So we have to be a passerby. Can't do it. Otherwise, unfortunately. Right, let's move on. How are we doing? So if you look over there, there we go. So that's where we were before. That is we were at the base of that before. So what we did was there's basically I'm at a shopping centre. It's called the Icon Siam, and it's the opposite side of the river. So you can see the river behind me. So basically, they offer like a free shuttle from, it's like a dock over there. So you offer a free shuttle from that dock. So basically outside here, down there. And I've just come over. I wasn't going to come, but I saw it on the boat. And I was like, I'll just have a bit of a wander. The view is spectacular. Amazing view. I'll switch around now, and see what I'm staying like over there somewhere around there. The whole Bangkok skyline. Amazing. Yeah, this is what I mean by approaching it from a different angle or different view or different way. It's, you know, it's a different sort of feeling, and yeah, it's kind of cool. How are we doing? So I'm now at a place called Lumpini Park. So I've got the BTS like SkyTrain for the river, and then got the BTS SkyTrain from like where that abandoned skyscraper was, and now I'm here at Lumpini Park. So basically this is just basically a park in the middle of Bangkok where it's meant to give you sort of a park in the middle of the concrete jungle. Obviously I'll turn you around, so I got the skyscrapers. All around me. Just wanted to make a quick stop off because it was like, it's one of these parts was recommended, so come and have a look at. Now, I don't know what's going on. There's like a massive festival behind me over there. No idea what's going on. They keep shouting stuff, and obviously got no idea what's going on. It was only a quick stop off because we are running a bit tight on time. There's a sky bar / rooftop bar called Banyan, which is about sort of 5 minutes away, and sunset is in about 20 minutes or so. So I'm cutting it fine as per usual, but obviously I want to get up there so I can see the whole city again in sort of daylight and also sort of nighttime. So next scenes will be there, see in about 5 minutes, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to show you a really cool view of Bangkok. Right, sports attire, it's a shirt and fancy shoes on the left. Let's go and see what Banyan has to offer. So it's the Vertigo 2 bar I'm going to. It's on the 59th floor, so we'll see how it is. Let's go to the Banyan Tree Hotel. Unreal views over Bangkok. Just up down there, that's where the park was earlier on. Amazing views. So yeah, I'll leave you with the skyline. This could be it for tonight. I might video a bit more tonight. I think we're going on coast mode. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that view of Bangkok. Another view, another city. Well, in the morning, is what traveling's about. Now day turns to night. I said I was done, but look at the view with all the lights.